Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what could potentially be the final game here tonight, WCS North America. Suppy versus Revival, with Revival leading one game in this team kill scenario. Had to happen eventually, but Revival is playing extremely solid. Suppy showed flair and was doing really well, and then unfortunately ran into a situation where he just overcommitted, got a bit too greedy, as you accurately pointed out. It's like, oh, can I take the third as well? No. That was a little too much. Fighting in a choke versus Infestors, losing a lot of his army, and then basically being obliterated as a direct result. So we will have to see a smarter Suppy going into this particular game. Let's see if that happens. He is to the southeast position, and he is in the red trunks playing Zerg. Versus his opponent to the northwest position. Currently at one game in this best of 3 series, showing rock solid play throughout tonight. He is EG Revival.
Very important game we have on our hands. Nobody wants to go home. These players might be getting a little bit tired as we're approaching the 11 p.m. hour or the 20...
Approaching the witching hour, man. It's going to be dangerous out there.
The 21 o'clock?
The what?
I don't know what you Englishmen do. Like, you did the 24-hour thing?
21
too much
o'clock?
Math. It's too much math for me, man.
You guys can't... You guys have the strongest military in the world, and you can't even handle military time. What's wrong with you?
You can't... You're assuming things based on my knowledge. I don't know if I could reflect the entirety
I don't
of
assume
the United
anything based
States.
on your knowledge, don't worry. And now I'm getting ejected from the studio. Bye, guys!
Get out. Get out. Oh, man. By the way, shout out to any Europeans staying up late and watching this with us. A pleasure to have you here.
Indeed.
To watch these awesome games. And yeah, this is a must-win situation for Suppy. He must win 2 in a row here to go to the round of 8. The loser of this match will be knocked out of WCS America Premier League, dropping down to the Challenger League. And the winners get to stay in New York City for a good amount of time until the round of 8. So
That's pretty cool. There's like a Chipotle right down the street.
there
What
is.
a great bonus.
Eat there every day.
Oh my, I wouldn't want to be in the studio with you after that one.
Well, I kind of said that because I'm hoping a representative of Chipotle is watching and I can get a personal sponsorship.
New sponsorship announced live here on the show. Well, we got Papa John's. We need to start getting the other fast food chains in here. We really need to start shortening the lifespans of nerds.
Pizza.gg, guys. Go get pizza 50% off.
I knew you'd get that in there
I
somewhere.
had to get that in there. Of course, click the root button.
Always with the root button. To be fair, you've even got Greg Idra Fields backing you up on that now. He rooted for root on last night's metagame. A phrase a phrase I would never thought I'd ever hear uttered from the mouth of Idra. It happened.
That's awesome.
Alright, so let's see where we are in this game so far. Obviously, it's a Zerg versus Zerg with no 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 pulls, so it's only going to go so far, really. A little bit of a difference between the two players, of course. They did take one took spawning pool before the other, Revival spawning pool being later. Gas, however, was taken by both players, which means the net effect of it is fairly minimal.
Yep. You know, last game was really cool, by the way. The way Suppy played it. Revival went for the fairly fast Infestors, and on a map like Belshir Vestige, where it's so important to be out and across the map and to have that map control because it's kind of expansive as you extend past 3 bases, and it's kind of hard to defend your 4th while aggressing your opponent's 4th. Infestors, they're not the most mobile unit. So, you know, Suppy, a player that was going pretty much exclusively Mass Roach Hydra, it's a little bit more mobile than those Infestors, because the Infestors, you want to kind of keep them back, and you got to protect them. You have to protect them. And if they're out in the middle of the map, it's hard to tell, okay, is my opponent flanking me? My Infestors are vulnerable. Suppy played it in such a way where, you know, he played it towards the map as far as, you know, realizing how effective the Roach Hydra composition could be. So, you know, coming into this game, Aquilon Wastes, it's a little bit interesting because it's very easy to hold 3 bases. It's not as expansive as far as defending your 4th base. Your 4th base is right nudged up against you. But if you remember from the first match that these guys played against each other, Suppy again went for that very fast 3rd style. They got a great amount of units on the field and was able to, get a lot of momentum in the early stages. And, you know, stay even with Revival and even ahead, and he ended up winning that game. So we'll have to see how both these players play, you know, based on that info, not only from the first game of this series, but from the last game that these guys played against each other in the last match.
I love it when this happens in tournaments. I know there's a lot of people that don't really like rematches in this dual tournament format, but I think it actually results in really great games because the thoughts of the players are very much on Is he going to do the same thing? Is there a hole I can exploit here? What about the other stuff he did? But here we go. An engagement comes in immediately. Revival looking to do some damage here. Suppy not responding to the Baneling hits, but he does only lose a single drone in the process. This last Baneling's on its way. Revival does have the slight edge there, but that Baneling goes off in the wrong place. And Suppy's Banelings are now moving into play here. Ah, lovely connection there by Suppy as pieces of Zergling fall everywhere.
Suppy made a lot of Zerglings there. He was freaking out on that, so he has to do damage in a counterattack, because right now he's down in Harvesters 37 to 25, because behind that, Revival was essentially faking it all in there, and he was droning a bunch behind it. So Suppy going across the map, he's supply blocked here too, which isn't fun. He has to do a lot of damage here, at least force Revival to make a lot of units while he makes drones back home, or it's going to be a tough situation going to the mid game.
And that's what he's doing. He's doing the exact same thing. He's playing the same game against Revival, where he's like, I'm going to attack you. You better defend. You better build a bunch of stuff. The thing is, Revival's not.
And he canceled the spine, and he's making nothing but drones and going up to lair.
Yeah.
He's not biting.
No, he's not. You can't fool me with the same trick that I used, says he, and trying to get in there with the Ling, and he succeeds in doing so and gets a little bit of information. They were both heavily injured there. We'll see what he knows. Suppy postures again and looks to try. He sends small numbers of units in. Gets a hit on a Baneling there, which is always good. I'll totally take that trade. But yeah, some information was definitely gathered. Suppy is now, he's still trying to say, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you, which the thing is, Revival will never believe that. Yeah. He's got an Overlord right above it. He knows exactly what his opponent's got. It's definitely not enough to make it happen unless he gets a great connection.
Yeah, so I think the option of trying to threaten Revival on 2 bases, it's gone. But he still has a lot of units out in the map here, so what he could do is try to just keep his opponent on 2 bases, keep an eye over his opponent's 3rd base, and use these units instead of actually being aggressive with them.
Defend your own 3rd with
right, and keep your opponent from taking a 3rd. While he gets a 3rd up on his own, but somebody needs to equalize the drone count. That needs to happen. He needs to power out those drones. But unfortunately for Suppy, Revival is he's +1 missiles already like 30% of the way done. Already has roach speed, well ahead in tech, well ahead in upgrades. So again, going forward, Suppy has to make something happen. And can he prevent this 3rd from getting down with all these units? I think that opportunity might be passing, because Revival has some roaches out there, some Banelings.
Yeah, he's got 4 more roaches coming in, a couple of Banelings, as you said.
Playing this really well. Revival is playing super well this game.
Yeah. Pretty good, honestly. And it's a shame Suppy wasn't really able to do any damage with the counter attack there. If he had, then this game would have definitely been more equal. Suppy's definitely not out of it yet, though. No. Getting that 3rd down earlier will give him a nice edge. It's more lava, it's more drones, it's of course more minerals coming right at him, so that will certainly help him out a great deal. Suppy with the nice little bit of scouting there.
He took the drone lead too, however small it is, 51 to 49. So it's going to be helpful a little bit, but Suppy's definitely a little bit behind right now. And I'm wondering if Revival's going to try to go for a roach speed push with +1 missile and try to be aggressive. But the thing is, ZVZ, defender's advantage is huge. Again, we saw Suppy get ahead in the last game, and he attacked across the field, overextended a little bit. Revival, using that defensive advantage, to take Suppy off guard. So, Suppy could do something like that here, so definitely don't count him out.
That's very true. Looks like none of these Zergs are taking my new metagaming strategy to heart by building Spore Crawlers to kill Overseers. I tell you, man, it's going to happen. 2015 Zerg metagame.
We'll see. I'm not going to say yes or no to that.
Are you not convinced by that? I don't blame you. Anyway, what we're going to see is Suppy, of course, continue to build up this composition and start to add Hydralisk into it. He is getting double upgrades. That's pretty cool, because Revival is only on a single evolution chamber.
Yeah, I think he needs to power out units at this point. His drone count is beautiful.
Yep.
Suppy's up 67 to 54 in Harvesters, and that was the one little disadvantage he had. So I feel like there's a window here. Revival can just make nothing but roaches, attack behind this burrow, and try to kill Suppy. So Suppy right now needs to power out units. He's making 2 drones. That makes me a little bit scared. Not get supply blocked, and he needs to hold this aggression from Revival. Revival is definitely going to hit, and he's going to be hitting very soon. Yeah. Might wait for +1 carapace, but that will give enough time for Suppy to scramble up enough units to do that.
Yeah, but he's going to get Hydralisks. If he keeps hanging around, then there'll be Hydralisks out in this engagement as well.
With range?
Exactly, and there'll be static defense there. The creep spread is pretty good, and now he is going for it. Does he have enough roaches to break this? Can Suppy engage this well? He comes from multiple sides here and looks to try and get it. The Banelings, of course, get in there and don't really do a lot. There's not that many Hydralisks here as well, and here it is. The reinforcements coming from Revival. The army of Suppy is melting. 38 roaches to 12. This is looking really grim right now for the North American Zerg player. Can he hold on?
If he can hold on, he's in a great position, but it's looking very tough. Indeed, Revival coming with everything. Suppy realizing he must have more drones than his opponent, so willing to pull some here to extend his life in this tournament. And but Revival just sending more and more units across the field. He's up 148 to 99 in supply.
Completely
and this
outnumbered.
might be the end of Suppy in the WCS America Premier League.
Yeah, Revival crushes him, GG. And that, as they say, is that. And
wow,
from a group with two of the strongest American players, 2 Koreans will qualify and go through, and that's 2 American players thrown to the wolves in the Challenger League right there. Suppy, of course, devastated by that. Very tough losses to take.
That was actually a pretty cool game. You know, Revival was in a great position after that opening where he was able to force Suppy to make those extra lings and banelings, and then Revival did a great job not biting the bait, basically, and making sure to prioritize drone and teching, even though Suppy was attacking across the map with lings and banelings. Revival realizing that Suppy was making drones behind that, so like, all right, I'll make drones too. And then it was a situation where Suppy was behind. He had to do something drastic. He chose to do something drastic, which was get ahead economically. But I think he made like 8, 9, 10 more drones than he needed to. If he stopped making drones 8 or 9 or 10, so he's up just 2 drones above his opponent, maybe 3, maybe 4, and just powers out units, he has the defender's advantage. Revival was pretty committed to that push. Suppy had Hydras on the field, his opponent didn't. So he could have held that off if he had just you know, those 10 extra drones.
Well, you know what they say about the game of drones, axeltoss. You win or you die. There's definitely no middle ground in that respect. And Suppy unfortunately rolled the dice on it, built a few too many, and he died. Unpleasant, unfortunate. But there it is, folks. Now you know who is going through from Group C. It is Hero in first place and EG's Revival in second place. Unfortunate for the American players here. Very unfortunate for Scarlett in particular, who I was told, and maybe you can confirm this, that she did lose her luggage on the way here. That's why, of course, she wasn't wearing her Acer jersey, and believe she was also using equipment that she was not totally familiar with, which is very unfortunate indeed. And then Suppy definitely had an opportunity to win. Certainly in game 1. Yeah. That was very much something, he made it a bad call, which happens in that situation. You have a feeling about the game, and it's not entirely accurate, and you think, I feel like I can make this work, and then you realize, oh, whoa, okay, look at all those infestors, I'm in trouble here, and then you end up losing your army. And then game 2, as you said, it was just a few too many drones and not quite enough units, couldn't hold it. If he had, he would have been ahead, but as it stood, there were too many roaches and not enough time. Yeah, heartbreaking losses there for Suppy. Again, able to beat Revival in their first meeting, but then falling to him in the second. But congrats once again to Hero and Revival. They'll be moving on to the round of 8. Guys, stay tuned. We're not quite done yet. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with our second qualifier for the round of 8 from Group C from WCS America round of 16. We'll be right back with an interview with Revival.